Welcome to the possibly close to final episode of Industry Gossip. My name is Manish Kata. With me, CMO Christopher Norton.
A real possibility, so I thought we would kick things off with your favorite subject, math. InvestmentNews, which sold in 2018 for $27 million, just sold again for $4 million. Underrated or overrated?
This is underrated because it shows you the demise of the media, and more importantly, the demise of the media in our industry. So originally $27 million, as you mentioned, sold for $4 million. In March, there was a deal on the table for $8 million. And taking over a $1.9 million lease obligation. So a couple things from this. If you have an office space with a long-term lease and you are trying to sell your company, you are screwed, number one. Number two, it's hard to make money in the media business. Outside of events and award shows, these companies are not profitable. And frankly, we've been able to grow our business and most of the media hates us. So I don't know, why do you need them?
Nothing like getting an 85% discount and still paying too much money. With a fascinating org chart, Cetera has hired Mike Durbin to be their CEO to oversee their current CEO. Underrated or overrated?
That is a fancy org chart. This is underrated for a couple reasons. So Mike Durbin is a former RIA executive with Fidelity, also ran E-Money, so he has some tech background. I think you are going to continue to see the blurring of lines between custodians, advisor networks, TAMPs. Everything is kind of melting together into one pot. And so I think this is underrated because there's going to be some big things around the corner with what he does with Cetera. Obviously, they want to go in the direction of being more RIA-like, and this is the right person to come in and do that. As a side note, the same week, Genstar placed Charles Goldman on Orion. Genstar owns Orion and Cetera, and just one of those things that make you go,
Indeed. The mighty hand with the money makes the moves.
He who has the gold makes the rules.
The real golden rule. Well, the owners of Vise are back in the news, having decided to take out the cartridge, blow on it, and stick it back in as they launch a hard reset with $78 million on hand and a 6-year runway. Underrated or overrated?
I thought we agreed never to bring this topic back up. This is overrated. These guys have pivoted more than Ross Geller trying to take a couch upstairs. At some point, they just have to give up. But I will say this. I think now, finally, they actually have a chance to survive and thrive. Why? Because they're cutting out all the crap around it. They're focusing on what they originally were, which is just sort of a fancy tech way to direct index. And they just need to go raise assets. They've been spending too much time and too much of daddy's money putting out all these products and smoke and mirrors, and none of it has worked. So I think, frankly, I'm not predicting the future here, but we may see them in the news for actually doing something soon because of the fact that they're focusing on their core competency. But either way, this is the final time we're going to talk about it.
I know I have taken to giving branding advice on this show, but it's worth noting that Nintendo had great success with their second offering, and Supervise is right there.
Take it.
Well, the Schwab TD merger is going great, with RIAs saying such nice things as, "It's one of the worst experiences I've ever had with a custodian, they're clueless," and tweeting that Schwab's platform is like reverting to the Stone Ages and calling the app a dinosaur. Not to lead the witness, but underrated or overrated?
This is overrated. I think RIAs need to just stop crying about this. Look, if TD was such a great place, they wouldn't be out of business today. So obviously something they were doing was wrong, number one. Number two is this is two major custodians that are combining together. That's such a monumental task. And you have state-registered RIAs with $50 million in assets that want to come out here and bitch about something that's free to you. Like, get over it. It's going to be rough. There's going to be some mistakes. If you don't like it, leave. But at some point, you just need to move forward. They're going to make it work. Nothing bad is really going to happen, just some inconvenience. But just get on board. You're down to Schwab, Fidelity, Pershing and Ultra's kind of nipping on the heels. Pick one and go with it. But going on Twitter and these articles to complain about this, I don't know. Find something else to do with your life.
Twitter, the place where you can complain when you would never do it in person. All right, RightCapital's secret deal with SoFi is out of the bag, with 25 CFPs in the middle of it. Underrated or overrated?
I think this is underrated, but I also think this is concerning for financial advisors. Now, this deal is good for retail customers, and that's great, but our show is more about fintech and advisors. Imagine if you were a young advisor who promoted your differentiator as my tech solution. How bad this must feel, because RightCapital now is giving access to their software to about 5.7 million SoFi customers, with further access to SoFi CFPs. So essentially, if you are a advisor who's pushing your value add as just access to this software, they've essentially just shot you in the head. And so don't do that, number one. Don't tie yourself to any technology solution. This should be a wake-up call. Number two, most of these financial planning pieces of software have already been gobbled up by all-in-one solutions, Advisor, eMoney, what's the other one? Money Guide Pro, etc. So they were trying to find their place in the industry, and there's no one left to buy them. So they went the retail route with SoFi. So, I think the news is, underrated in the sense that it's going to help a lot of retail people, and alarming in the sense that financial advisors really need to rethink how they approach their tech stack in many ways.
The merger and acquisition headline of the year: there's no one left to buy me. All right, last one for what may be the last time. Mortal Kombat character Pershing X is the latest to reevaluate their name and have officially gone woke. I mean Wove. Their new name is Wove. Underrated or overrated?
It's going to be a rap song pretty soon. This is overrated for now, and I'll say why. Look, a lot of these conferences and press releases are vaporware, and what that means is essentially they put all this news about what they can do, but in reality, none of the tools really work, maybe only the onboarding portion or one side of it. And if you read further articles, I think Joel Bruckenstein had a post where he actually put in there, they admitted that parts of it don't actually work at all. And so it's good that they're finally becoming open architecture. Custodians are embracing the fact that they just can't own everything and they have to become multi-custodian. The bad part is I just don't think much of it works, right? And even if you are multi-custodian, you need the other custodians to play nice. And frankly, I don't know how willing Fidelity and Schwab are going to be to share customer data with another custodian, number one. Number two, as far as I know, they haven't opened up their APIs. So I'm not sure how you're going to be multi-custodian. And for example, in a new account opening, if you are going to have a single sign-on into Fidelity Wealthscape, that's not a fully digital onboarding. You're just signing on to someone else's technology. So there's a lot left to be desired. We need to know more information about what this actually is going to be. I think the excitement right now is overdone because it's just promotional material. No one has seen anything. And frankly, I don't think any of it actually works right now.
I will say, if every time I had a major victory and I went into my dashboard, it said flawless victory, I would probably choose that platform. Well, that will do it for industry gossip.
For good.
Maybe we'll do this again sometime. Until then,